Hello, and welcome to Shitfaced Shitfics, where we get shitfaced, we read shitfics. We're reading with a bunch of people today. I'll read them off and tell you what parts they are. And we are reading a story called Daddy, Why Do I Get Boners When I Poop? As you can guess, this story is going to contain poop.
And the right questions to ask.
Flam will be narrating for us.
Yes.
Enigma is going to be reading the part of the father, Steve Pot.
So I'll finally get answers from the story as to why my dick scrapes the inside of the toilet.
Why my pee hard.
Rav will be reading the part of the son, Chili Pot. You make a noise now, Rav.
Oh, I do? Okay.
That's a noise. I will be reading any additional parts, and the fairy will be read by the person named Milk. I love you and your drag queen noises. Thank you. I wish I could do it as well as you. All right. And you guys in the audience, I can still see your posts. Be aware that anything you post will be visible on the YouTube video. So get ready for that. Would you like to read the description for us, Flam, and we'll launch into this,
Absolutely.
including the subtitle.
Awesome. Yeah. Let's do it as per normal. So, hello and welcome everyone. Today we have Daddy, Why Do I Get Boners When I Poop? Description reads as follows. Chili Pot is a budding unicorn colt who finds himself having unfortunate episodes at school whenever he uses the bathroom, which he has been able to keep secret before experiencing a particularly messy incident. Frustrated, Chili asks his earth pony father the one question that he yearns to know the answer to. His father then decides to disclose to him a dark secret that he's kept about his son since he was born. A secret that will change everything about Chili's life forever. Clicking on this story to read it means everything is your fault. And we will be going into a chapter titled, I Love You, You Little Piece of Shit. If this is gonna be like some Bono was like the biggest piece of shit ever, like
I do think that I think that's what it is. So we gonna do that, Flam. Be ready.
All right. So no voices today. I'll just be reading like I would read anything from National Geographic.
We'll save your voices for later. Trust me.
Indeed. All right. So in we go. Chili Pot sat himself comfortably on the toilet, hit the stall walls and doors protecting him from the curious foal's eyes that allowed him some privacy. He even had the great fortune of being alone inside the school bathroom for the first time. What seemed like forever. With a deep breath, he let the echo of his exhale ring out as he contracted the muscles of his ass, feeling last night's dinner pass out of his anus and slide into the water inside the toilet bowl.
Why did you say anus?
Because it's a free fucking country.
Okay.
Oh, who's doing his internal thoughts?
That would be Rav.
Perhaps today will finally be a normal poop.
The colt thought to himself.
If I can just have a normal...
Then the smell hit. Chili Pot was so zen that he mistakenly took a nice big whiff of the shit that had freshly left his body. The smell was revolting, as all shits were. But Chili Pot couldn't help but begin breathing more excitedly as the particularly pungent odor cycled in and out through his nose. With his second helping begging to be let out, Chili Pot obeyed his body's commands as he squeezed out another dense, malodorous log. Chili Pot began to quietly weep, hating that he suddenly found his own shit stench and the stenching of the inside of his anus to be so intoxicating.
I'd hate you so much, Flam. Continue.
I'm doing it for that reason.
I know.
He yelped as the tip of his dick touched the inner rim of the porcelain bowl, forcing him to pull outside the toilet. As it expanded and elongated, blood and pleasure coursing through it, Chili Pot's fearful cries became moans of pleasure as his dick throbbed with teasing tingles. How's the chat doing, by the way?
The chat is like, this is hot, this is good. And they like your cult voice, Raph.
I bet.
The poor colt took deep, silent breaths, the ever-growing size of his erection reaching a length and hardness that it had never done before. Up until now, he had only made it slightly bigger than half chub and could rein his hormones in and finish his business before he raised suspicion. But now he felt like he was about to explode in ecstasy. He had to do something before the teacher's aide would come in wondering what was taking him so long. Chilipot pulled on the chain from the tank above the wall, hoping that he could flush his excrement and the torment it caused him away. With the swirl and the jets of water breaking the shit apart to be drained away, it only blasted the smell upward, which Chilipot could almost feel like a putrid wind. Holy fuck, hold on. There we go.
Please don't die.
No, it was pop filter. Chilipot wailed loudly as his dick ached tremendously, begging to ejaculate. With loud bawling, he was compelled to put his hooves on both sides of his dick and jerk it up and down. As his orgasm neared, he used his unicorn's magic to yank on the toilet paper roll beside him, unraveling almost half of it. Wadding up whatever he could in his hooves, he pressed the ball of toilet paper against the tip of his cock and waited for the inevitable. What Chilipot wasn't expecting right after the last contraction was his semen bouncing off the paper and exploding onto his hooves, his light blue chest, and the stall walls confining him. Mortified into petrification, the jizz his paper wad did catch began to ooze onto his legs and the bathroom floor. Right now, it didn't matter there was no one else in here to be witness to his embarrassing moment. It would only be a matter of time. Crying loudly, he hopped off the toilet and threw his sticky paper ball into the toilet before throwing the door open and galloping out of the bathroom as fast as he could. I just want to say that if he doesn't want to draw attention to himself, why the fuck is he wailing and crying?
Also, I want to say I need a fucking drink.
Flame, are you saying you don't cry when you masturbate?
Oh, well, maybe I cry.
That's weird.
Maybe I cry out some holy names, but that's about it.
Don't you cry tears from the penis?
I mean,
that's just liquid pride.
Call them tears.
Liquid
pride. Use your own tears as lube?
I don't know, man. It's kind of gay.
I mean, we're talking about masturbating all with poop. All of this is pretty gay. Anyway, can we please move on?
Yes. Let's do it. His name's fucking Stu. Jesus Christ. Stewpot sat at his favorite chair, enjoying his pipe beside the fireplace. The life of a single dad was challenging, but the late mornings and early afternoons he had to himself were a perfectly long enough reprieve. Looking up at the mantel, he spotted the photograph of himself and a far younger Chilipot who was just barely tall enough for the bottom of the frame, as well as a frame beside it holding a perfect report card from the previous year. As rewarding as these moments of tranquility were, they couldn't hold a candle to the reward of such a bright, beautiful sun. At that moment, the front door burst open, the sudden burst of volume making him spit the pipe onto the floor. Spinning around, he caught Chilipot leaping up the stairs, his pants struggling to mask the hoarseness of his saddened cries.
Chili?
Stewpot hoisted himself up off the seat and trotted to the stairs, a strange scent just barely lingering where the cold head ran up.
Chili, what's going on?
Bounding up the stairs, he went to his son's room, which was precariously open and vacant. He then heard the sound of the tub's faucet running, leading him to the bathroom.
Chili?
He knocked on the door, hearing only the splashing of water inside.
Chili, why aren't you at school?
It's nothing.
Stewpot could tell from his voice alone that wasn't the case.
Just please, leave me alone.
Son, get out here and explain yourself.
Please, Daddy, just give me a minute here.
Daddy.
Damn it! Flam, don't make it weirder than it already is!
That's my fetish.
Stop!
Stepping back, Stewpot gave himself enough room to turn around and force the door open with a single buck. Storming inside, he found Chili huddled inside the quarter-filled tub with his chest particularly messy from some kind of scrubbing. Just as he came toward the tub, the pungent, yeasty odor assaulted Stewpot's nostrils, forcing him to put his hoof onto his nose and turn away.
Chili, dear God, what did you do?
I'm sorry, Daddy. I couldn't help it.
Finally able to turn back around, Stewpot looked to his son as he bawled, resigning himself to lie on his side and huddle up as the water continued to rise around him. Stewpot knew his son wouldn't have done anything like what he just did without good reason, and there was no use getting upset at him for it. Taking his hoof off his nose, he walked to the tub much more calmly, grabbing the bottle of shampoo placed on one of the tub's inner corners.
Come on, let's move off.
As Stewpot drizzled the soapy syrup onto his son's chest, Chilipot mustered the strength to pick himself back up and grab the brush with his magic, scrubbing the crusted clumps still left in his fur. Still alive, everyone?
Yep, let's do it!
All right. Chilipot sat at the edge of his bed, the towel wrapped around him, keeping him warm as it soaked up the remaining moisture on him. Stewpot took a seat beside him, groaning as he did, now able to relax once again.
Hey
Jesus
guys,
Christ.
hey guys.
No.
The towel was wet with shower.
Get out.
No,
Wait, what?
it was wet with water that also became wet.
God.
Sorry.
No, please. Tell me what happened.
Chilipot glanced down. Even with his father knowing the gist of it, he still didn't know where to begin.
Daddy, do you ever get boners when you poop?
You understand me, Dad?
Sorry. We got this.
fucking Napoleon Dynamite ass fucking...
We're trying, guys. I promise. You should
Now,
all be
son,
drinking.
Why did you come on your chest, son? Because I fucking feel like it. God.
You guys should all be just anyway.
All right. Stewpot blinked hard, not remotely prepared for such a question.
Chili, I mean, where did you even...
Well, I am. I don't know why, and it scares me.
I mean, have you already begun feeling changes down there?
Changes. Sorry. Chilipot shrugged and cocked his head, both certain and uncertain at the same. What? Let me reread that. Chilipot shrugged and cocked his head, both certain and uncertain at the same time.
I know I'm reaching that age where cults start to going into puberty and start, but I mean, why is it only happening when I poop? That's just messed up. God.
You're an idiot.
Oh my god, please.
Oh, you want me to keep doing that?
Yes, continue.
Dad, you fat lord. Stewpot glanced upward, prepared to become vulnerable. That's weird.
To be honest, I've had times when I've taken really big dumps and it made me super relaxed, but I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it's not that.
The colt shook his head.
For the past few weeks, every time I poop, I just get super aroused. And it's not just the feeling of my poop getting, pooped out. It's gotten to the point where even the smell makes me, like, swell up down there. And today my poop was really stinky, stinkier than I've ever smelled before. And then I tried to flush it, but that just made the smell even more intense, and I just couldn't help it. I got it over the walls and the floor. God!
Deal with this! This is great!
Fucking Wolverines, what do you think? Ugh.
Oh my god, please continue.
Stu Pot wanted to say something, but he already had a good idea of what was happening, staying silent and motionless as his son continued explaining the situation.
I tried to catch it with the toilet paper, but it sprayed off and got everywhere. I got scared about the teacher or the principal or my friends finding out, so I ran home. It was the only thing I could think of. I'm sorry, God!
Can I just say that at one point he sounded like Ed from Ed, Ed, and Eddie, and it was amazing.
Yes! Oh my god, it was perfect!
Principal, my friends from finding out, so I ran home.
Oh my god, it was so good.
I'm trying
For
to
I am
think.
grounded.
No, it was genuinely good. It was genuinely
It was excellent. It just took me off by surprise.
Oh my god, I'm not
Had a
sure.
giggle.
I think Tony's right. I don't think we're drunk enough for this. Let's start drinking more, guys. Continue.
Yeah, I need another shot.
Oh yeah.
Stu Pot looked off to the side, more so out of melancholy. What the fuck?
Oh, God.
Let me try that again. National Geographic.
You can do this.
Stu Pot looked off to the side, more so out of melancholy than shame or resentment, although Chili Pot couldn't exactly pick up on that.
Daddy, do you hate me?
Stu Pot couldn't help but chuckle at such a ridiculous question. Turning back around with his eyes moistening. What? He grabbed his son and he held him tight.
Of course not, Chili. Why would I hate you for something over this?
How can you not? I know the school and my friends are going to.
They're not going to say anything. You don't have to worry about that.
How am I supposed to explain this to them? You're my dad! God! Oh, Daddy.
And I lost my place.
How am I supposed to?
How am I supposed to go back to school after what I did?
Chili Pot held on to his father and sobbed into his chest. The only remnant of safety he had left. Excuse me.
Nice.
Stu Pot held his son on tighter as his own tears began to flow. God, this is gay. He knew this day was coming. And so am I. No, but he wasn't ready for this today.
You're not.
You okay there, Enigma?
This is hitting too close to home.
Oh my god!
What? No. You got some fucking major explaining to do, you cunt.
You really
This
think
case-
my father would be around to explain the bone?
Yeah, you think Enigma got hugs? Hell no. Please continue, Enigma.
Okay, well, wait, so you don't get the shit boners explained to you?
No.
Wow, what a queer. Okay. Okay, so you're not. Stu Pot let go of his now confused. I'd be fucking confused. Yeah, now confused son.
There's something I need to tell you that I've been keeping a secret till now.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Chili Pot continued scooting closer.
What is it, Bodaggett?
I've never really talked about the day you were born. And I'm especially certain we've never talked about your real mother.
Oh, God. Chili Pot. Fucking Jesus Christ. I'm gonna hate this. I can just feel it in my bones.
There's a fairy. It's okay. It'll be great. Continue.
Right. Chili Pot said his sandwich. Sandwich? What? There's a fucking sandwich? Where'd the sandwich come from? Chili Pot set his sandwich down, suddenly comfortable with his dad's nearness.
My real mother? But you told me she died when I was a baby.
I'm sorry, but that was never true.
Chili Pot suddenly stood up, backing away from him.
You mean my real mom's alive?
Then it dawned on him.
But what does that have to do with me getting boners when...
Why don't you take a seat right there?
We have the squeaky laughs today. I can't help it.
Now, son, I like you and I want you. We could do this the easy way or the hard way. The choice
Please
is
continue.
yours.
Stop. Read the lines.
Thank you, Rav. Patting the space where he sat, Stewpot beckoned his son back over and put his arm around his back, savoring his bedside.
Being beside.
Being beside him once more. Wow, dear diary, I wish I could read.
Well,
The truth is,
be glad you
the
didn't read
woman
back
that
his
would have
sack
been
like
your
I did.
mother died when you were even born. Before you were even born. Got some really nasty illness that made her too weak to stay after a few days after she finally succumbed.
Of course, he spells succumbed right, but can't spell weak. Anyway, continue.
Right?
Then where's my real mother?
Stewpot's hold on his son became greater. The truly unbelievable part of the story about to be told.
When my wife died, I was beside myself. Only for the loss of her, but the fall she carried inside of her. I don't think I could carry on without either, so I became so desperate.
Dad, seriously, what does this have to do with...
I went to see a zebra that lived on the outskirts of town, claiming she had a way to give me a son. She gave me a small jar with 2 beans inside of it. She told me to eat 1 bean at the moment and then another when she told me to.
She?
If this is a fucking Venus thing, I swear to fucking God.
Just keep.
Chili Pot looked up to him.
Is that my real mother?
With a strained nod, he confirmed this.
I then went up to this very hill, when I met her.
And that's how we met your mother.
Milk, are you about ready for it to happen soon? Flam has to read for a bit, and then it's time.
That's fine. I swear to God, there's some Venus shit. I fucking
Remember
swear
to
God.
remember to push to talk.
Kitty!
Go away, cat.
Hi, Kitty.
I'm not playing with her. She's bugging me.
Rav has pussy problems.
Get the Q-tip.
Apparently. I
My
don't
God.
own any Q-tips.
Oh my God! Can we please continue without like sexually abusing a cat?
Alex, take a snippet of that, please. It was late at night as Stewpot stood atop the hill waiting for whatever powers the bean he consumed would show him. He'd been standing for what felt like hours, his loneliness aided only by the sounds of his stomach grumbling, every so often, meow indeed. Suddenly, a cramp...
Oh God, I know where this story is going. What the fuck?
Yep, it's time. Let it happen.
Okay. Suddenly, a cramp shot into his gut that left Stewpot doubling over, the gurgling in his stomach loud enough to frighten some nearby birds out of the trees. It felt like something was expanding and filling its way through Stewpot's digestive tract. And as whatever dwelled inside him continued its way out, Stewpot was forced to let out a long, high-pitched farts that failed to stop the intense pain in his belly. It wasn't much longer until he felt something push against the inside of his anus. And without a bathroom or an outhouse in sight, Stewpot had no choice but to push the tremendous poop, trying to exit him as if it had a mind of its own. Stewpot's anus spread wide, as a solid, gargantuan shit the width of a full-grown stallion's hoof began to slide out and lower to the grass like a large rope. Stew Pot let out cries of both pain and utter confusion as he continued pumping out more shit than what he felt a normal pony could hold. Even as he eased his muscles to give his ass a break, the shit continued pushing its way out, forming a swirling mountain of shit that threatened to rise taller than him. It's like some fucking soft serve. Good lord. He looked back at the massive poop as it began to shift about, the air pockets that formed, popping and spreading out its unconscionable... Wow, dear diary, I wish I could read. Unconscionable stench. Stew Pot was certain that the shit was melting. But as it rose and began taking some kind of form, he was too shocked to continue pushing, only able to watch as his impossibly large shit began to writhe about on the ground. Is this some Stephen King bullshit?
Just keep going. I'm gonna need another actual drink after this. I'm almost done.
South Park bullshit is what this is.
Continue.
At long last, the last of his poop slipped out and plopped to the floor. Plop. The frightened Stew Pot hopped away and turned around to watch the last of his slither to join the rest of it. Stew Pot's horror and fascination only grew by the second as his shit began to compress further than it already was, as 4 limbs sprouted up from it, as if pulled up by an unseen force. A portion of one of the ends began to stretch out and form what was clearly a unicorn mare's head. The rest of its body melded and shaped into that of a large muscular pony without any real defining features, other than its now smooth, unblemished body, made entirely of shit. It then scared him by quickly rolling to her hoof, bending its legs as if it was straining out a massive shit of its own. What the fuck? Several holes then opened up, from the top of its head down to the back of the base of its neck, along with the larger one where the base of the tail should be. Several smaller, stringier shits pushed out from the top of the neck as a larger one came out the back, forming a mane and a tail made from the shit. Then, to Stew Pot's added surprise, the shit made and shit...
You can do it, you're almost done, Flam, I believe it.
The shit mane and shit tail began to fray out. I don't know why shit mane got me. And shit tail began to fray out until they became what appeared to be a perfectly washed straw yellow mane and tail. This is beyond science. It's shit body. it's like a Mad Lib where every other word is shit.
I know! Hey, Milk, remember to push to talk soon.
It's shit body. Fuck. It's just like some 5th grade Mad Lib. Holy shit.
You can do it, I believe in you!
Shut up. Its shit body also began to flake out until it separated to form a short but velvety coat colored chocolate brown. Woo, lad. If it wasn't for the fact that this pony came from Stew Pot's own ass, he would have easily mistaken her for any other pony. And she looked somewhat stunning in her own way.
Are you the one called Stew Pot?
She asked, her voice also far more lovely than her origin. Yeah, Milk.
I don't know, Milk's voice is lovely. Fuck you, man.
I know, that's what I mean.
Stew Pot. Enigma, your Stew Pot.
How?
Stew Pot was almost at a loss for words.
How do you know my name?
I'm made from you.
She simply answered.
It seems that your name should be the very least of what I know about you.
What even are you?
My name's Excretia. I'm the expert in everything that leaves your body in the party after they consume it.
Scared of.
Oh, fuck me. I'm gonna have a heart attack. Holy shit.
You can do it! Just push through it!
I see what you did there. Excretia pursed her lips in mild frustration.
Why have you summoned me? I assume you have a purpose other than asking me questions about me.
Are you eating something too? Because that's amazing. It sounds amazing.
Oh
Good.
my gosh.
Keep doing that. That sounds even
Yeah,
better.
it's great. It sounds
Don't
great.
keep eating or else you're gonna excretia it.
Please continue.
But didn't you just say that you know about me?
She then smirked at him, which left him conflicted over whether he should be frightened or proud to have made her do that.
I don't know, man.
Just eat and talk. Eat and talk.
Yeah, yes, you're here to seek a child to replace the one that was torn from you by cruel who's of fate.
Yes.
Sounds like you
And you can give me this?
She responded with a single nod.
How? What must I do?
Yep.
Mhm.
Say this like Pinky from Pink, or like the brain. Say this like the brain.
Just read it. Don't worry, just read it. The same thing every stallion.
The same thing every stallion looking to make a child must do.
Try to take over the world.
Good. No, read the next line, Flam. Read the next line, Flam.
Excretia then turned around and flicked her tail aside to reveal her winking poussée, a hot flesh color just like her puckering anus.
By the way, Milk, remember to push to talk.
I am.
Okay, Alex, don't be a bitch.
Stewpot took in a hard breath.
What? I have to rut you?
Stewbot, please. We both know it's not the first time you've done this. You know what to do.
Stewpot looked down and away. The very fact that he was considering this insane to him.
I don't think I can.
Then let me help you.
Along with the crack... Oh, fuck. I just had the urge to talk like Billy Mays for a second.
Please don't.
Okay, I won't.
Please,
But
If only
there's
to spare
more.
pence. Here. Along with the crackles in Excretia's shifting voice, Stewpot also saw her body change before him. Morphing from a brown-coated unicorn with a lighter colored mane and tail, she now sported a blueberry coat, the jet black mane and tail, a sight that left his legs trembling.
Honey?
I'm not your late wife,
Excretia reminded him.
but you deserve to mate with the likeness of her. That much I can give you. Now come, Stewpot. Your child awaits you.
All right, hold on. We do have a request from the chat. The chat does want the next paragraph as yes, as Billy Mays. Will you do the next paragraph, please?
Yes, I will. With an equally black pussy spreading at him, Paul was overcome with his emotions as his cock slid out from its sheath, unable to resist the sex of the one he loved. But wait, he then resolved to mount his doppelganger and insert his dick into her. There's other people in my house, by the way, so they can probably hear this.
Continue, please. You're almost. I just.
Whether it be that she was in her exact likeness, or that he was also having anime came out of his own body, it only served to increase his pleasure for only $19.95.
I'm dying. This is what death feels like. Not enough alcohol. All right, Flam. You can give your
Okay,
voice a
Alex.
rest.
Hi, Billy Mays here with the shit wife.
You can read it normally now, but thank you for doing that. It's very, very good. Very good.
Alright. The smell of shit and the overly loud sounds of wet sloshing began to fill the air. But with his body rubbing against Excretia's flawless fur, he found it easy to muscle through it. After a few short minutes, Stewpot came into Excretia and continued to lay atop of her until he was certain most of his seed was drained out of him, from him. As he slid off, he looked to the shit spirit, who lowered herself to her stomach as her belly began to bulge.
Hey guys, she's a literal shit waifu.
God.
You know what makes this better? This alcohol just finally fucking hit me.
Oh, good. Mine. I need to be like more than one bottle deep, so I'm gonna go get some while you guys do the next section. Get stuff done. Keep moving. I trust you.
All right. Stewpot slowly shook his head. Jesus Christ. Stewpot slowly shook his head slowly as he watched a nearly year-long process unfold before him in a matter of seconds. She then began to contract as her belly receded in, the offspring of the act pushing its way to her rear, rather than come out of her vagina. He was somehow shocked to see a head crown out of her asshole before she easily slid the rest of their baby out and onto the ground. With short, stunned breaths, Stewpot grabbed his mewling.
Yeah! 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 God damn it, I'm sorry.
and let out a
Yeah,
yawn.
Bodega!
Which one of you fuckers did that?
I did it! Okay, the reference.
Oh, God. We're getting there, guys. Don't worry.
Alright.
With short, stunned breath, Stewpot grabbed his mewling, shit-smeared boy and cradled him in his arms. Sure, he smelt like the anus which he was birthed from, but nothing a bath upon returning home couldn't fix. Stewpot was at a near loss for words.
Thank you. How can I ever repay you?
With a pulse of her butt muscles, a single bean popped out from Excretia's butthole and bounced to the ground where Chilipot sat with his son.
Before his 15th birthday, I must reunite with him. He will then have to make a choice to whether he wishes to stay with you or return with me. And believe me, the choice will be harder for him than you may expect. Consume that bean when you yourself are ready to fulfill the end of your bargain. Until then, farewell, Stewpot.
Excretia began to stretch out until she more closely resembled a snake rather than a pony. As such, her body began to turn dirty and soft, transforming into the long, tremendous shit that Stewpot had conjured. To his surprise, she pushed under his ass and sent it up to open the path to his anus. Stewpot put his child down on the ground as the sentient shit fed back into his ass, groaning and moaning as his intestines were filled up with her. His sphincter was pressed in in such a way that the stallion could not help but get aroused. With each inch that pumped and slid its way in, he could feel his erection push up against his stomach as Excretia pushed against it from within. With the last foot left, the shit snake shot. This is great alliteration, by the way.
Yeah, right?
This is the last foot. With the last foot left, the snake. Say this fucking 5 times fast. Holy shit.
With the last foot left, the shit snake shot. That is hard!
The shit snake shot in all at once before every ounce of shit spirit inside of him evaporated into nothing. With his ordeal over, he felt safe to crawl over to his son and sit back down, picking him up and holding him in his lap with his arms resting on his boner. Stewpot let out a chuckle still unable to believe it.
Welcome to the world, you little shite.
Yeah, Bo dang it!
Oh,
This is
jeez.
the longest one. We have like nothing thousand after this.
Don't worry. I don't mind long ones. This is something. Though.
That's what she said. Anyway.
LMAO.
LMAO.
All right, Dad. Where's Dad?
Chili pot.
His dad concluded.
What I just told you may sound unbelievable. I may have made this up, but I did indeed invoke a spirit of poop just to bring you into the world. If this sounds shocking and you're upset by any of this, I understand. It's just
No!
Chili Pot looked the most at peace than he had all day.
It makes total sense. Why else would I not be attracted to other mares and stallions of my age at this point? It's just, I want to meet her.
you. What?
That's right. I want to meet Excretia, my real mother. And I'm still a year or so away from 15. But I mean, she never said we couldn't do it either.
Are you sure about this, son? She said that your choice may be a difficult one.
What are you talking about, Bo Daggett? Why wouldn't I pick you, Daddy? I love you. God!
Chili Pot threw himself onto his dad and gave him a hug, one that Stew Pot was more than happy to return.
Now you actually get to say it, Enigma.
And I love you. You little piece of shit.
And that's how Bono was born. The two laughed at the pun, holding each other all the while. With his son's confidence giving him the strength to get up off the bed, he began to walk out of the bedroom.
Come on, son. I have the Venus in the kitchen.
As he fully exited, Chili Pot swung off his bed to follow his father out and down the stairs. Oh boy. This is gonna end amazingly.
Yeah, right up the ass. This is the last section.
All right. Chili Pot stood at the edge of the living room beside all the furniture, leaving Stew Pot inside the otherwise barren space with a single bean resting on his hoof. With a calming inhale and exhale, the stallion popped the bean into his mouth and swallowed it whole. Oh, God.
Oh no, Milk, you have more lines. I didn't realize. I'm so sorry. Okay.
All right. Chili and Stew Pot stood for several seconds for what felt like an eternity before a loud gurgling could be heard from his stomach. Chili Pot could hear the noise as if it came from his own body, already feeling a tingle in his nethers. A sweat began to form on his dad's brow as his forelegs buckled over and his back legs spread wide to give as much room for the shit that he could feel was already slithering through him. There we go.
Was that pleasure slithering through you, Flam?
You bet your sweet ass it was.
Mm.
All right.
Don't say you bet your sweet ass right now reading this, please.
I do say that.
Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
Yes.
Fuck.
So, a tight, high-pitched fart tweeted out of Stew Pot's ass before it was... What? Oh, right. Okay. Yes. A tight, high-pitched... I've never heard of a fart called tight, but sure. A tight, high-pitched fart tweeted out of Stew Pot's ass before it was cut short by the poop. As it came out as a single dense load that coiled onto the floor, Chili Pot was breathing heavily, overcome by his hormones as his dick practically leapt out of his sheath. As more and more shit came out of Stew Pot's ass, Chili Pot hugged his erect cock to himself, hoping the flex he felt would give him enough pleasure to not ejaculate, despite how badly his dick throbbed. As the last of the shit spilled out and onto the wooden floor, it began to meld and morph into an equine shape. Her more detailed features forming from her neck and above her ass before her fur, mane, and tail took form before the two. With her now standing there, Chili Pot stood in awe as Excretia looked to him, her maternal instincts making her smile as though she had been a mother to him all this time.
My son!
I'm sorry! I'm sorry!
Olay!
I'm so sorry! I didn't know! This is so good. Oh my god. Oh, thank you.
Holding an arm up, Chili Pot ran to her with an ecstatic smile and put both arms around her, the shit spirit giggling as his still hard horse stick prodded her.
Ooh, frisky one, aren't you?
Oh, fuck me.
Mama, I can't believe this.
With his nose against her fur, he took a strong whiff. His dick tensing up further at the scent of a freshly dropped deuce.
Wow, you smell so good.
Jesus Christ, Rap!
I knew it. Stewpot was forced to smile, off-put by the reunion.
Yes, my child, and you can come live with me if you wish.
Chili Pot pulled away slightly.
But I want to live with my...
Milk.
I know, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that you had...
What am I even fucking reading? This is just...
I
It's
know,
just so
I know.
fucked.
The mother. It's the mother.
I'm so sorry.
I know
I'm
it's
not reading it
I
yet.
know it's the mother Enigma. Come on now. And you can do that too if you wish. But if you no longer want to feel ashamed at what you're attracted to, where you can live where you can live your life truly happy, all you must do is come with me.
But...
Flam! Flam!
His family's probably questioning why he's talking about shit.
Want me to read the next line? I'll read the next line until Flam.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, there were people coming and asking why.
I fucking bet!
So
All right.
they didn't hear me, but they're just like, wow, you're loud. Okay, anyway. Chili Pot was now faced with a truly difficult dilemma, looking back to his dad with worry.
But, Dad,
It's okay, son. You choose whatever your heart and anus desires.
You too.
Stewpot's eyes began to water, wanting to still be strong and supportive of his son's decision.
No matter who you choose to go with, I'll always be your father, and I will always love you.
are you sure, Bodagget?
Go on, Chili Pot. Make your choice.
Chili Pot steps away and stood between Stewpot and Excretia, glancing back at them both with crippling indecision. He then looked to his father, who nodded back to him. Smiling warmly, he then faced Excretia and took a step forward. Happy with his decision, the shit spirit smiled and nodded to him before turning around and standing wide, her pulsing anus facing him, tantalizing.
What the fuck is this? Let's
You
continue.
said you read this.
I didn't read the end. I always like to have something as a surprise for myself as a reward. This is not a reward.
Not with that attitude.
God damn it. Continue.
Then the entire lower half of her body began to expand twice its normal size, the asshole puffing up even wider. She then
It's
let
the
out
black
a
hole.
giant... Fuck. She then...
Do it, faggot!
She then let out a giant shit that was just as wide as Chili Pot's body, which slid out a foot or so in the floor before stopping. Chili Pot stared at this shit, knowing that what he was compelled to do to it would be a point of no return. But with a slit opening up inside the poop and widening into a luscious pussy, Chili Pot was pushed. Chili Pot dove onto the shit, his
Bonsai.
dick sliding into the poop vagina as his arms and legs wrapped around its girth. Jesus Christ.
Cowabunga, dude!
I hate it. Thank you.
Tina, you fat lord. Stewpot wept as his son made his final decision, finding it difficult to watch him leave. As Chili Pot continued fucking the poop, his body began to turn brown and hairless as he too began to turn to shit for 1995. Stewpot cried even harder as the son he could hardly recognize began to become one with his mother's enchanted excretion, like two pieces of gum chewed back together. This is a fucking genius. This is genius.
I know, right?
Picked off the bottom of a desk, no less.
With his body sinking in, all that remained of Chili Pot was a brown protrusion that was once its horn, and a single somber eye that took one last glance back at his dad. With the eye closing and the melding complete, Excretia began to pull the shit back into her anus. Stewpot looked one last time as the massive log was pulled up off the ground and was lifted back towards Excretia's ass. However, with only a few inches left, the retraction stopped. Excretia, aghast that she could not pull any more back in.
What is this?
She gasped. Just then, a single light blue hoof secreted out from the secretion. What? Secretionception?
Secretionception, Jesus fucking Christ.
Pulling more shit out of her ass with it.
I'm really distressed that we've gotten 3 followers today. Continue.
Stewpot felt a rising hope inside of him as another hoof came out from the shit and pulled it apart, revealing Chili Pot's face, and instead, as a furry, normal, and ever those smeared with slimy brown.
Daddy!
The shit entrapping Chili Pot was cut off of Excretia's ass, bringing both to the ground with a muted plop.
I changed my mind. I want to stay with you.
Not even bothering to wipe the thick layer of shit still stuck to his back and legs, Chili Pot ran to his dad as the two oh god. Stewpot not caring it the least about the poop wrapping around his arms as he pressed through to hug his tight son. Jesus, sounds like how I used to write.
It's true.
Yes, Excretia turned without the poop. Excretia turned around as her. Yeah, let's.
Hey, designated.
Okay. One time. Hey, equestrian will be a superpower by 2020.
Let's not and continue. We're almost done. We're almost done. Come on.
Excretia turned around as her body turned to normal, facing the loving 2-bit family.
So this is the life. It's near the bottom. Very near the bottom.
So this is the life you choose, Chili Pot? You know that you may never live a normal life ever again.
Who needs normal when I've got him? God.
Chili Pot couldn't even look at his birth mother as he continued receiving his father's affection. Excretia sighed.
Very well. I wish you two the very best. Stewpot, perhaps you want to prepare yourself for this time.
Stewpot pulled away from his son and nodded to him promisingly. Turning around and sticking his ass out for her, Excretia moaned as she stretched her form onto a shitty tube that flew into the stallion's ass. The imagery.
I know, right? It's so well constructed. I'm so upset because it's so well constructed.
It's black holeception, man.
Oh my god.
Chili Pot watched as his mother disappeared inside his father, but at the last inch of poop sticking out from Stewpot's anus, it slowly pulled back before giving its final words to him.
Goodbye, my son.
Remember who you are.
God damn it. Please finish the last paragraph and author's note Flam.
With his asshole closed up, Stewpot let out a heavy breath with the weight that suddenly left him. Now all that was in the room save for him was Chili Pot and a wide smearing of shit from the scene left behind. None of this mattered. The floor could be cleaned, his fur could be washed, and the school board could be dealt with. All that mattered to him was his son was there and here to stay. The two resolved to resume their hug. The bath could wait. Author's note. Hey, remember when I wrote a good Father's Day story? Stories?
Does anyone else feel like the author here was projecting?
Well, you know what? I'm just gonna make the joke on the nose since we're gonna do that. This story was shit. Someone had to say it. Fuck.
I mean,
I didn't have much in this story, but I don't care. That was.
they made
Thing.
they made the most of a shitty situation.
Oh my god. Now that's what I call a shitty situation.